start off with introducing myself, and I think names are important because they bring our histories with us. My name's Arshi Chadha, and I was renamed at 2 years old. So my dad had custody of me initially back in Kenya, and my nana actually threw a fit because my father was very abusive and got me out of that household. And when I came in, he flipped a Guru Granth Sahib, and it landed on an A, and he decided to rename me. And Arshi loosely translates to an angel that fell from above, and that's the light that he held me in. And something that really inspired me to do this workshop was actually the sun. In my village, folks, when the sunshine comes on, like 6 to 6:20, everyone goes outside and sunbathes. And just that relationship of really taking care of your skin and seeing the sun as a goddess deity that is feeding into you has been so oppositional to what I've learned in the first few years of my life about stay inside, fair and lovely, get an umbrella on you, you don't want to become more Kali. So yeah, that was very beautiful, and that inspired this. So what I did here is I drew out my body, and then I started to draw my hair. And in blacks, I started to write what I have been taught about my skin. And part of that was my hair, but the rest of it was this poem that I wrote about my nani maybe 3-4 years ago. And I'm just gonna read it to you guys. Little brown girl, if I could tell you what I now know, I know how you spend your evenings, with sunset staining bathwater and your skin tainting her daughter's legacy. Rekha loves you the best way she knows how, healthy and fair and lovely. You sure are hell aren't fair, but you are so very lovely, with a mind dark as cosmos, hair resilient as cotton, and skin kissed by the sun. You are lovely. I love my nani a whole lot, but she really started to place a lot of these beliefs I had in my head about who I was and how I looked and my beauty and my worth because of my darkness. That line about skin that tainted her daughter's legacy. So like when my mom ran off with an African man, got married and came back, I'm kind of the black sheep of the family, as you can all imagine, being from a Punjabi household. With the skin that I have and the body that I inhabit, I face a lot of anti-blackness from the hands of my own people. And my nanny did this out of love. She would always just scrub me with turmeric and fair and lovely, and I now understand as an adult, she knew how I was treated, she saw it, and that was her trying to do something to reclaim, to make me normal, to make me accepted. But that in itself drove home so many issues that a lot of therapists had to hear about much, much later. I want us to, in black, draw everything that we have been taught about ourselves, specifically our skin, our darkness, our lightness, our beauty, our ugliness. And then in color, I want you to reimagine that. Over here on my shoulder, I have Kali, which was one of the first words I learned in Punjabi, because it was one of the first words my people pinned me with. We have just like your mother, which is something I heard constantly in my childhood. So my mom ran off to be with a black man, and how often did I hear when I was being chastised, you're just like your mother. But here in Swahili, we have Binti wa Baba, which means your father's daughter. And my dad is Kenyan, and recently I've been reconnecting with his side of my family, with my aunties and my grandmothers, and looking at our religious practices prior to colonization. So I want to challenge us to talk about our relationships with skin and our relationships with our bodies, whether that be fat phobia, whether that be your queerness, whether that be the way that you love, or your name. That's a thing that I really invite you to put on there. Write down your name. Who gave you your name? What does your name mean to you? Colorism in the South Asian community. It's a very real thing that we all face very deeply, and me as a Black Indian person, I faced it very deeply in my childhood. But I also recognize that my grandparents only know what they know, and we only know what we know, and as I hold them accountable for the ways that they have harmed me with colorism, I also recognize that they have been harmed by colorism, and I want us to kind of create a space for gentleness and for learning for each other. I want us to hold each other with gentleness as we explore our relationships to our skin and what we have been taught about it. I want you to deconstruct your relationship with your race, with your skin, outside of colonization.